What's going on, good people? Welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time. I'm Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Brandon Bossert. Welcome on in to another episode of the Delmarva Sports Insider.
As you said, Brandon, not only the greatest show in America, the greatest show in the world.
We've expanded, Trey.
We've been upgraded for 2021. It's been 2 weeks, but we are back with plenty to get into tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Trey. NFL playoffs and all new after the whistle, and some great news that we got this week. We have a lot to break down from the DIAA.
Yeah, as a sports department, we got our first bit of good news in 2021 on Thursday afternoon when it was announced that the state of Delaware will in fact go forward with its winter sports season.
Yes.
That means basketball, swimming, wrestling, and indoor track will be allowed to move forward with their seasons. Now, basketball in particular, moving to an open tournament, which means in short, yes, everyone will make the playoffs to protect against schools losing games due to COVID protocols. Now, there will be a limited amount of spectators this season, so no gyms like that, reportedly one per player. And an interesting change of the rules, Branding, the opening tip for the game is being removed. I don't know what's up with that.
I have no idea why exactly they went for that rule specifically, but hey, they went for it. We're going to get basketball. It's a minor change. As for wrestling, a lot more is known here. They are hoping to have an individual state championship meet and determine a state team champion based off of a point system, and all sports except swimming will be required to wear masks. So we will have live sports once again on Monday. It's been a while since that football championship Saturday a few weeks back. So, Trey, let's get right into this decision.
Yeah, let's get into it. I, for one, think that it's great that they are going forward with this. As I said, with football, I think if they are careful, the fact of the matter is there is a way for sports to be played if the governing bodies are willing to put in the work. And we've seen it. Delaware willing to put in the work, Maryland really not. We've seen it at the professional level. We've seen it at the college level. High school, obviously, a little bit different. And maybe I'm just a little biased, but I'm maybe also relieved that we'll actually have something to do for the next few months. Hey, it's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm shocked by the DIAA coming to this decision, but there are obvious differences with holding winter sports compared to fall sports. First, it's going to be inside as opposed to outdoors for the fall sports. And we have to take a look at the number of positive reported cases in Delaware recently. Just 2 months ago, November 8th, 345 new cases were reported in Delaware, and that was a high number at the time.
Yeah.
For the first 6 days, or from the 1st to the 6th, Delaware has seen more than 600 positive cases every day, over 1,400 on New Year's Day alone. This virus is everywhere at this point. And if we're going to hold live sporting events indoors, we need everyone to take things seriously. That means hand washing, social distancing, wearing masks at all times. I wanted to get that out there because it is important to remember that this virus is still out there and we need to take this seriously. But the interesting thing about this is the open tournament. We see that in Maryland. We haven't seen that in Delaware. What do you think about that decision?
It's going to be very interesting, like a lot of the other things that we've seen implemented by the DIAA. And one of the people behind that decision, DIAA Executive Director Donna Polk, I'd imagine Donna had no idea her tenure as ED would be tested by a pandemic.
No.
But it's the time we're in right now.
Well, Polk and the rest of the committee met with Delaware Public Health yesterday and determined it'd be okay to go forward with winter sports. And we caught up with her for our latest insider interview.
Wanted to kind of get some of the inside of the initial discussions. And, since I last saw you at the football meeting, I didn't know if this was going to happen or how it was going to happen, but, you all pulled it off again.
We, have been in constant communication with DPH along the way from the beginning. And the actual communication and conversations have, even increased. So I think they have an understanding of the measures that we put in place with our regulation 1011 now, which is a permanent regulation that, is putting a lot of mitigating strategies in place for our member schools to use. So not having high numbers of team-to-team spread was huge. We understand it's a different animal with winter, with the high-risk sports, so we understand that data yet has been, provided. But being able to show that we're being accountable and responsible to try and do everything we can to kind of mitigate on our level while we're participating in sports.
How different will this year be when it comes to those fans and, you know, just the raucous crowd that basketball brings night in and night out.
It's going to be a different experience, but I think it will be an appreciative experience because they have the opportunity to play. And we're not the only ones who are doing that. You know, it's happening at the college level, it's happening at the professional level. And if they're able to play without fans, you know, I'm sure us at the high school level can do the same.
Obviously, the biggest obstacle out of all these sports, and we knew coming into this, would be wrestling. So take me a little bit through that dialogue, and I know there are still some things that have yet to be figured out, but how did those discussions go, and how are they going?
It's still a high-risk sport, you know. That human-to-human contact is there with that sport, and that's the biggest concern. Wrestling is already operating in a safe zone and making sure that they put the precautions in place for it to be safe already. And now we just have to add in, you know, wrestling with a mask. So we're hoping that, you know, the spread does not, you know, kind of increase. Ultimately, we're in the business of providing, you know, sports for our young people. And we understand this pandemic has taken away so many things from us. And being able to still be able to offer this now, even though it can be a challenge, it's been a struggle to even make these things happen behind the scenes. That's the rewarding part.
Now, Polk also noted that her greatest satisfaction personally comes at the idea that even through this pandemic, thousands of athletes will be able to look back and cherish their experience this year.
Yeah, winter sports teams in Delaware have been practicing since late November. Games begin on Monday, and you can bet your bottom dollar 47 ABC Sports will be there to wire coverage of winter DIAA athletic season. So it's going to be fun, Brandon. But let's switch gears really quick. We've got some other business to tend to. The NFL, we've got a big-time weekend. The league is calling it Super Wild Card Weekend. The Baltimore Ravens clinched another postseason berth with last Sunday's win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Now comes the difficult part.
Yes.
Baltimore matched up with the Tennessee Titans in this weekend's wild card round. Yeah, those Tennessee Titans. Yeah, the same ones that ended the Ravens' spectacular season a year ago in the divisional playoffs. The same Titans who handed Baltimore their last home loss in overtime defeat back in Week 11.
Now, the purple and black are well aware of the narrative surrounding this rivalry and what's on the line here, and they intend to do everything they can to make this weekend different.
It's winning to go home right now, you know. I want to win regardless. I don't really care about what people got to say, you know. I only been in the playoffs twice, you know. My young career, you know, other people been in the league forever, haven't been in the playoffs at all, but it is what it is, you know. But definitely trying to erase that narrative right there. That's the number one right now in my mind.
It's a great challenge. Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs to ever play this game, and he's in the zone right now. And so, yeah, I take pride in the challenge of lining up and trying to shut him down.
Now, another one of our regional teams are also in the postseason for the first time in a while. It's the Washington football team. Now, Washington goes into the weekend looking for their first playoff win since 2005 with a banged-up quarterback at that, Trey.
Yeah, Alex Smith is expected to start, but Ron Rivera has said that Taylor Heineke may see some time when Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town.
No, I've never been part of a quarterback rotation, and so for me, again, I'm focused on what I need to do and to get ready to roll. All that other stuff, again, I play quarterback. I'm going out there to get done. I need to get done what I need to get done this week, preparing, obviously, for a huge challenge.
If you know me, my team knows me, I'm excited for every game. And Tom Brady, you think I'm not going to be excited to play against the GOAT? Then you tripping. And that is what it is. I'm excited to play against Big Tom. I'm not going to apologize for saying I want Tom. No, I want Tom Brady. I want every quarterback I play against.
All right, so let's talk about these games, Trey. That's a rookie shot right there going up against the GOAT right there. But, Trey, I got to say, I actually like this matchup for Washington. I'll tell you why. Washington's defense going up against Tom Brady. I think they're going to rattle Tom Brady. Actually, second best in the league in passing yards allowed, second best in the league in pass yards per play allowed, seventh best at taking the ball away. They've allowed 300 passing yards just twice this year, and I think the pass rush gets to Brady often. Washington by a field goal. That's what I say.
Wow, you're taking Washington.
I'm taking Washington.
Wow, look, I like Washington's spunk. I love Chase Young, but I see that there is no way that they are offensively capable enough to win this game. The Bucs do the one thing that Washington struggles with on offense, and that's blitz.
Right.
With Alex Smith already ailing with that calf injury, if he's knocked out of the game, they'll need Taylor Heineke's best game ever, maybe since high school. And I just don't think that happens this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Against the greatest of all time. Now, interestingly enough, if there were fans, Brandon, at FedEx, I think I might like Washington to win this game. Now, as for the Baltimore Ravens, it's a tough matchup. We've said it. We categorize the Ravens as a physical team over the course of the last 2 seasons. The one team that's out-physical them all the time is Tennessee.
Yes.
Now, I do think Baltimore's offense playing much better than they were in that Week 11 matchup this year, and I think they won't be caught off guard like they did last year in the divisional. So I think Baltimore wins that game. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Baltimore too. I know the Titans took care of Baltimore last year pretty handily and then again at M&T Bank Stadium this season, but the Ravens right now are on a roll ever since that Browns game. They have the top point differential in the entire AFC. I'm not sure a lot of people know that, but they are facing the best running back in the league in Derrick Henry, but Baltimore has rushed for over 3,000 yards this season. I was stunned by that stat right there, taking on a Titan defense that's bottom 5 in pass defense and 19th in stopping the run. So keeping the ball on the ground, I think the Ravens win this game if they keep the ball on the ground with Lamar and D.K. Dobbins and company.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins along with Lamar Jackson. Mark Ingram probably will not be activated for this game, but Gus Edwards has carried the load as well. You got to love what Baltimore has been able to do.
Yes.
They've been doing it by committee. They'll face a one-man committee in Derrick Henry, so it's going to be an interesting matchup.
That one-man committee might be better than Baltimore's committee, though.
Yes. Also, you got to love Chase Young. You got to love what he does.
You do.
Right? That'll do it for the A block. We're taking a quick commercial break. When we return, we've got an all-new After the Whistle with one of the hardest working young men in the Bayside Conference. That and more when the Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
Hi, my name is Malachi Waters from Indian River High School. Now you're watching Delmarva Sports Insiders.